Morgen, Nicole, Jonas, Deutschland, he gets. There, look, this bull, we've seen him, we know him too, because he's got that growth on his left horn. Speaking of horns, question from Germany, from young Jonas, Nicole's son. Why do they have the horns on their heads? Well, it's pretty much like all the other antelope. In a sense, it's a means, it's their weapon. It's what they use for fighting. It's their tool to assert and maintain dominance. And they use those horns. They swing their heads and punch each other in the sides and the neck with those horns. And maybe with a bachelor herd like this, we might even get to see them sparring and just practicing. Quite interesting sometimes. Well, they don't look too interested in gladiator school today. Arrived as well.
Giraffes?
No, giraffe can die if they get into water. They can die very easily because they can fall over. They actually wade through water. I've known them to wade through water. Relatively shallow water. I mean, we've got tracks down on the river. Look at that. They're not fond of water. But I would imagine that if they were to go into water out of their depths, I don't know, have you ever tried? You're a diver, so you'd understand. Excuse me. You ever tried sucking on a hose pipe? Before the days before scuba?
Yeah, I did that as a
Because of the pressure. I mean,
yeah.
even
if their head's above water, the pressure on their lungs would be different.
That's right. So the pressure on their lungs would be far too intense if they. And then, of course, they would probably be positively buoyant, so they'd get to a certain depth where they'd become top heavy. I don't know. The one thing that I could think of is that the compression of their lungs, if they were in water that was very deep, would be such that it would be hard for them to inhale. But giraffes' lungs are different to a large extent because they, if I'm not mistaken, they're actually attached to the wall of the rib cage. I must look at that dissecting of the giraffe again to just refresh my memory of how that works. It just becomes harder and harder to remember, not remember stuff, but to find where it is in my head. Another leaf spin. instead of really being covered in bone, or rather in horn, like the horny material that antelope horns are covered in, giraffe horns are actually covered in hair. And you can see those two across the river. You've got the one on the left is a slightly younger bull. He's still got a little bit of black tufts on his horns. That older bull on the right is he's lost more hair on the top of his horns, but both of them still quite bald on the very top. And that's from all the fighting and bashing each other on the necks and the bodies. It's quite interesting to watch. It's quite frightening to watch sometimes because of just the leverage that they have swinging their heads along on those long necks, and then of course the weight of the head hitting their opponent with a full swing. It's like must be worse than a heavyweight boxer's punch.
He's still got two horns going.
Yeah. Must bruise quite badly. They get damaged vertebrae in their necks. They can kill each other. Blow to the back of the head or to the side of the head. It's like this is enough to kill an opponent. His tail got caught. Did you see that? The bull tail got caught in the thorn tree he was feeding on. You're also going to jump across the water. They really are quite strange looking creatures. One can only imagine what must have been thought of them the first time someone came back to the Royal Geographic Society to explain a giraffe, or bringing a captured one back to the London Zoo or something. Although there are there are stories of giraffe being given as gifts by Caesar to, I don't know, but way back in history where giraffe have been captured and given to kings, and he's getting caught up in twigs, that old bull. And as ungainly as they look, they're actually quite agile. They can get in and out of all sorts of weird places. It'd be interesting to see if he goes over that sort of little dam wall. No, I mean this one. Oh, let's carry on. I want to still get across the river again. And look for some signs of elephant. And let's see if his leopard didn't